welcome everybody. This is, I think for this year, the last beach vlog, which you can now see that, well, this is the next sunset coming, although it's quite cloudy today in Hague. But I'd like to today, as I promised in the previous vlog, share more personal insights about changes, how I would envision agile transformation of universities, which especially in Europe, as I mentioned before, have very rigid structure. And what we would like to see is that universities can change their structure in agile way, undergoing agile transformation and representing living organisms. And of course, I was thinking about my personal insights. I'd like to share with you, of course, some references to start with. And I think my biggest reference, which made the biggest impression on me, was a personal communication with Dr. Judy Kjellström from UC Davis. She's already retired, but she did a great transformation already in 20th century in United States. So I think we have a lot to learn from United States, from their progressive way of education and also way to how to transform universities, especially when I think about university of 22nd century. So telling you a little bit about Judith, what she shared as a learning lesson from her experience about transformation of universities in this way. UC Davis, so University of California, another part of California with main campus in Davis. She did PhD at UC Davis, and she didn't want to follow her journey, her entrepreneurial journey as a scientist, is that she didn't want to follow the narrow path of being postdoc. So she took teaching positions, and actually these teaching positions were the greatest opportunity to perform and start performing transformation. The professors at that time were not used to at all interdisciplinary research, entrepreneurial thinking, and working with industry, as you can imagine. That was a pretty long time ago. However, they were at some point, because of Dr. Judy, persuasive and consequent and enthusiasm, very much willing to change. And I think that's a big plus for professors. But what I'd like to share with you more is the Judy experience, that when she started to, after as a teacher, develop these progressive ideas about creative learning environments, and she beautifully shared with me that she already was driven very much by the thought together is better, which actually you know from Schaap-Oziemlak. She already strongly felt this, and that success breeds more success. So after 5 years of teaching, where she was focusing on environment where inclusion actually, and positive thinking is very important. She became associate director of biotech program at UC Davis. And she started actually this very experimental way of education with 10 PhDs from 5 graduate programs. And later on, when she retired, she actually ended up with 230 PhD students in 2018. So quite recent, which is beautiful results. And what I really like about her teaching experience, that actually through teaching she changed university culture, transform it in their entrepreneurial one, and what she also shared, which was big success. And I think I wish that all the professors would feel the same way as Dr. Judy felt that way, that my students' success is my success. And the students were trained in such a good way in so many interdisciplinary areas, and not only life sciences but also team building and communication and business subjects, that actually companies wanted to, based on Judy education level and quality, because she was of course also having direct network, very intensive, not only as a teacher but also intensively networking with very different industrial partners and collaborators. So they were really after Judy, this assessment of Judy was very highly qualified by industry, so the students were very quickly hired, and that also makes it very amazing. One person, one teacher impact on actually success of many students. So I think this is a very interesting path to follow for European universities. Developing way of teaching, agile teaching, and through teaching culture develop not only the programs for master students but also for PhD students. So I think this agile transformation also at university has to happen in the teaching, and maybe the teaching is the first one, the most active, the most reachable for the changes, when you can create this very nurturing, positive thinking environment where students have fun. And what also is important, what Judy mentioned to me in direct communication, is that, which I'm really happy about to share with you, is that she really was encouraging students to help each other. So this is really beautiful way of collaborating and learning how we can help each other on each individual path. So that's kind of university of 22nd century I am dreaming about, where everybody help each other, and there is no wall between professors and between PhD students and postdocs. They all support each other and create, hopefully, shared impact and shared success of being and doing things together. What I also would like to mention about these wishes, I also wish that professors, especially professors which are involved in teaching, would listen to my vlog and take also perspective, because I also heard from my colleagues, didn't happen to me, but that in some groups in United States, for example postdocs, which I told you have a especially difficult situation when they have to deliver quickly, usually during very short period, and move on, that sometimes few postdocs are put on the same projects, and this generates fierce competition but very unhealthy, which actually is ending as a rat race competition. And this is, I think, creating very unethical environment in general. So my message also is for University of 22nd century, to these professors, which are also teachers, to understand that also as an academic teacher and academic scientist, especially the ones which are academic scientists and teachers, which happens already to associate professors and higher up levels, please don't generate conditions or environment where people start, postdocs or PhD students, having rat race. This is not healthy competition, and this will never be. We have to work together, and we have to each of our projects, if you think about projects for different students, please don't put them on the same projects. Or maybe another idea is to put them together on the same project, but they have to work as a team. If it comes to PhD students, where you have to learn how to independently perform research, I think you have to just use your creativity and define big projects into small projects. And these small projects can be agile projects, must be very different for each student, so that they can complement each other later on and make a big picture of very different projects. So that's something which I like to address to all teachers, so all professors, academic professors. Please don't create red competition. So that would be also university of 22nd century, where there is no red competition and people can create and work also in interdisciplinary settings and understand more how to work in industry and have this opportunity during their PhD program or postdoc work in startups, so that they can learn how to work in industry later on and create their own academic, maybe industrial future. So that's, I think, what I'd like to share today with you, and hopefully we are able to create laboratories. I'm actually looking now for my pen, where indeed we have living type of organizations with laboratories which are agile. So thanks a lot for attention. Enjoy still the last days of summer, and see you already in autumn. And the next vlog, I'm really excited because I go for a reunion of my lab in Rotterdam, Alain Jerzak lab, worldwide known stem cell biologist, to Edinburgh. So next vlog I will prepare actually in Edinburgh, in Scotland. So stay tuned, because we're going to still maybe get some reflection about agile type of education or agile type of teaching. So from here I give you warm greetings and see you next time.